Valentine's Day is around the corner, so today we're going to do a Valentine's Day inspired makeup look. We're going to do a bit of colour on the eye, then keep the rest of the makeup fairly natural. I've got a bit of a base and my brows on, so let's get it on. And by the way, I'm pro makeup artist Lisa, if you're new here, hello. So what's different about my channel is that everything here is unedited. Like, nothing's cut out. I show you everything in real time because I think you can, what I get from people is that you can sometimes watch videos and think, oh, I'm not doing that right because I'm not doing like this with my mascara and it's going on perfectly, because it's not that simple, right? So I show you lots of things unedited, unfiltered, to show you the reality of what it's like. Anyway, enough waffling, let's get on with it. So we are gonna start off with, yeah, my skin's done. The cats are being a menace around me. They're like scratching at stuff. They're like, Mom, pay me some attention. Okay, so I'm going out seeing my friends after this. So I'm going to, oh my gosh, that is so annoying. Stop scratching and ruining my chair. No. Right, this is my holy grail product here. You can see it's well loved by the state of it. This is the MAC 24-hour eye base. I have not found an eye primer that's better than this. So if you have one that Lisa needs to know about, put it in the comments. Chat with me. Let's fight it out. Okay, so I pop this on all over the lid. And as I'm doing that, this is a silica based product, so this creates like a barrier against any oil coming through the eye, and then I'm blending it up and across. And what I can do as an extra step, because what happens with these kind of silicone products is two things. It gets very grabby, so if you don't take it right up to almost like further than you need, you will see a line of difference. You'll see like an edge to the product where it's gripped better. I got one of those viral TikTok products, the Trigwell sponge. So I'm going to be using that today and I'll show you how. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of powder over my eye to simply, not necessarily set that, because the eye primer does set itself, but what it does is it gets rid of that tackiness, so products go on a she's malfunctioning already, a little bit more easily. I'm gonna start off on the eye area and I'm gonna go in with this no, I will be using you Vicky later, don't you worry. Charlotte Tilbury pencil, and I'm going to wiggle this on right at the root of the lash, just to kind of start the moment. So I'm not really creating an eyeliner per se, but what I am doing, and I'm going to try and use this to not... My friends just messaged me. I just need to message him back. I'm back. I just thought you wouldn't want to see me just messaging my friend. Anyway. So I'm just putting this right at the root of the lash. I'm almost tickling him. What is it with the cats at the moment? They've seen me come upstairs and they know I'm here and they're like, let's do annoying little noises to distract Mom. Okay, so can you see how that line is very subtle? You can't especially see it, it's not meant to be like obvious, but it just thickens the root of the lash. And I'm not necessarily going in the waterline or anything, I am just and this is the small Trigwell pencil. I did a lesson for a client the other week and it was really fun because I do like these guided sessions. Almost you know, a lot of people are good at makeup, but it's more just finding the right products that really fit you. Anyway, and we were using this pencil, but it's I don't know if it comes as just an individual, if it's always only 2 halves, but anyway, great story, Lisa, great story. While I'm here, I feel like I've gone a bit heavier on that side, so what I'm going to do is just get a little Q-tip and take a little bit off the top. And this is the sort of pencil that does set once it's on. I mean, I'm going to be doing stuff over this, so it's absolutely no biggie. But Q-tips are a great tool to edit products. And with this sort of pencil that sets in one go, you really want to be mindful about doing one eye at a time rather than one line here, one line there, because by the time you go back to smudge, it's dry! Dry as a bone! Right, let's do a little bit under. I'm going to take this in the waterline. People get really scared to put product in the waterline when really, if you want to like elongate your eyes, it's the best thing to do. I mean, that looks a bit crazy now. It does actually, once it's blended, it looks better. So you get quite a firm brush to blend, because you want to almost bully that product. And the reason why, I think I might have said this already, but I can't remember, I'm using the sponge is to just ensure that I'm not taking off the skin, because you know, sometimes you get little fingerprints, which is really annoying. So this is all providing a bit of a base, but can you see how that's like transformed my eye already? It just looks bigger. Hello. And again, so I pull the eye down ever so slightly just to help me really tuck that blend in, and it's a small kind of stroke. If I slow that down, it's a stroking motion, but obviously when you're more confident and know your face, you can be a little bit quicker. So that's just providing that base point. Has anyone watched here any of the Nikki tutorials, makeup masterclass things? So she's done an online thing. I'd be quite intrigued to see and watch. She's a very well-known makeup artist, but obviously she does tend to work on one aesthetic quite a lot, so it'd be interesting to see like doing it on someone that isn't of that makeup, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this sunlit glow. Are you ready for this? Come on, camera. There we go. This is like a slight duochrome bad boy. It's so pretty. And I'm gonna take that as a wash of colour. And what I love about these is these are like a fairly wet eye cream texture, so they do pick up quite generously. And this is like a slight duochrome, so it's like an orangey base, because what I'm going to do on the eye is a bit of a pink eyeliner moment. And this has like a duochrome, so it goes on, it's like golden colour, but then as it goes on it almost goes orange with a hint of pink running through it. Maggie's like, I want to know more, Mum. This is a MAC 224 brush. And with these pigments you can pop them on with your finger. They work really well. I'll just show you on the other side so you can see. I'm just using a brush to do a finer layer of product and to have a bit more control, but they equally work really well. Charlotte Tilbury assisted Mary Greenwell, and Mary Greenwell is really known for using her fingers. So you can see the outcome is a little, I mean, this is just a little bit stronger. So I'm just gonna even it out. And strong isn't a bad thing, so I might just pop. But I know some people don't like using their fingers. But they are a great free tool that we all have access to. I mean, that already, so pretty. So pretty. I might take a pinch of that just here. You're gonna love what I'm gonna put on top of this. So on top, I'm gonna dust the Danessa Myricks. This is the shade Ballerina, and James Malloy loves this, and I feel like if I use this, my work will look like his work. I mean, a girl can dream. James, I love you. This is a gorgeous, this looks like glitter, essentially, on the skin. It looks like a glaze, but it's like a long wear product, and you literally need the tiniest amount. And I'm using the same brush, the MAC 224, to just pick a little bit up, and I'm gonna sort of dash that in the middle. Just to give it a bit of extra. Now Magnus is attacking my vintage lace panel curtains. Can you not, Magnus? Honestly. Magnus! No. 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 Stop it. Bless you. I'm almost taking a tiny bit on that brow bone as well, just to kind of give it that. Magnus, I can see your paw. I'm going to do a tiny bit of highlight on that inner corner. This is all about creating dimensions. And then you need to get this off your hand pronto, or else you're going to be going on date night with this like flashy looking hand. Which isn't a bad thing, but life of a makeup artist, I guess. Okay, look, I've just sheared it out. Don't know if you can see that texture on my hand is like glimmering. I can't wait for this next step of this makeup. So pretty already. So we're gonna do you some eyeliner. I have these amazing MAC. These is called a Chromacake, and I split this with a friend. Don't know what the pink's called. It's, yeah, it'll have some kind of fuchsia in the name, and these are water activated paints, so you can use these as like eyeliners. So you can, there's so many brands that sell these kind of things, and all you do is you wet it like so. And this is an eyeliner brush I got off AliExpress. It's a nail art brush. And then what I'm gonna do is create a paste. And you want the texture of this to be not too wet, but you want it to be like a decent, like a slight viscosity to it. And in terms of colour theory, so we've got this kind of orangey pink on the eye. So it's going to be a, oh my gosh, what's it called? It's not monochromatic, that's all one colour. What's the one with their next door neighbours? It's that relationship. it'll come better to me, I hope. So I'm gonna need a little hand mirror here. Oh, I've got this annoying cough. And I'm gonna start on this eye because I'm right-handed and my left eye is always harder to match. So I'm gonna put this down to be my little anchor. But I'm using this brush because it's a very long tip to it. You don't always need like really expensive makeup brushes necessarily to create what you want. You can find very good drugstore or like other like art store brushes, but nail brushes are really good for this kind of thing. So once I have my shape, I can kind of begin to close my eye. What's nicer about the longer bristle is that it just allows that fluidity of the product. I really can't remember what this, I'm gonna have to look up different colour theory relationships. Right, colour theory. I'm so gonna kick myself because I know it's something really obvious. Yeah, it is analogous. I impressed myself. So these are kind of like analogous on the colour wheel because you've got the pinks, the orange, they kind of, I mean, okay, maybe you need red in the mix, but let's just forget about that. So what's important about this eye mix is that Magnus, no, Magnus, oi, you're ruining. So pretty. Stop it, Magnus, no, no. I'm impressed at this eyeliner so far. So I like to start with the tail part because to me that is the trickiest part. And with this shape, I haven't followed right down to the edge of where my eye is. I've taken it just like, oh wait, Magnus! Magnus! No. No. He knows what nose means. And then once you've got your line on, and trust me with eyeliner, I know that I'm making this look easy, but it takes practice, and having the right tool that works for you really, really helps. And I can't tell you how much using a tool that has a floppy kind of long end makes it so much easier. So can you see I've gone a bit thicker on this side than the other side, so at the front in particular. So I'm going to sort that out, and I feel like this is just a touch longer, and I use the edge of my nail just to like tighten that line up. So what I'm gonna do is come back here and just thicken you up a smidge. Eyeliner is really fun, and apparently it's going out of fashion, according to some 12-year-old on TikTok. What's nice about this is that it's so densely pigmented. That is so pretty, so pretty. I'm gonna put the lid on that because I'm happy with that. And I don't want this to get like messy and kind of like go everywhere, but go everywhere. So I am just loving this. What I'm going to do is pop a tiny bit of bronzer. Just need to get one, hold the line. I was mostly prepared. I've not used a NARS bronzer in so long, but I don't think I have one out. Right, so I'm going to take the Vieve bronzer, which is so buttery and lovely and creamy. I'm going to use a clean... Yes, I'm going to use this brush, which is a Spectrum B11 brush with the lighter bronzer shade, just to give the eye a little bit more, just a hint more shape. So I'm taking it right, ooh, got brush hair. Right, so brush hairs like this, you should be able to flick them. So if you go like the opposite direction, it should just give. And then taking a tiny bit, gonna go with the dark one as well. My lash is falling out. I mean, it has been a slightly stressful time, but can you see how doing that has just shaped the eye a little bit more? And my battery's about to die. Great. I'll be back in a sec. I'm just gonna change it now. This is so annoying about this camera. So annoying. Guess who's back with a brand new battery in there? I have 3. I think I've said this before, but if you don't know, I film on a Canon GX7 Mark II, and where you place the battery, imagine this is the camera, this is attached to the tripod, where you change the battery is here. So that means every time your battery dies, you've got to take off your setup. It's not like here in the side where you can just easily not interrupt your setup, your placement, whatever. So I'm just blending everything a bit more with this. Just giving it a bit more dimension. So where I'm hitting it here is not kind of right in the crease, but just slightly above to help shape. Look, I've got cat hair on me. There we go. My lashes are like falling out at the moment. Stressed, maybe. We've had some progression with the house, so we've got Wessex, the water company, coming on Monday to see our application in order to do, sorry, I'm looking for lash curlers, to do the, we want to basically move a drain. We have 2 access points to a drain on our property, to a public drain, and we want to change it to 1 access because one of the accesses is in our house, aka why the flood happened. So they need to come in with a camera to review that. And eyelashes, nice to see you too. And the other thing is the On Tuesday we have the construction team coming to quote on behalf of the loss assessors, so the people looking after us, not the insurance but our side, for the claim, to see the cost, like to tot up the works. I've got like something on my top, just scratching it off. Curl them lashes. Oh, sorry, clicky neck. Does anyone else get a bad neck? My neck, my shoulders, I'm just falling apart. Every now and then I get a little bit. Okay, lash time. I'm going to go with the Lancome Lash Idole mascara. So this is like a little spoon, and you spoon your lashes and kind of push them up. I love the volume and the curl this gives, and the drama. Let me know if you would like to see a video on applying false lashes. It's not something I do on myself a lot. I do it kind of more on clients or jobs, just to kind of bulk out the lash without looking too kind of much. So what I really do is I kind of really comb at the root, and then you can use the tip to apply the kind of globules right at the root. And if you find you get too much, you can just like pinch them to get the excess kind of blobs off. I'll get that blob off in a minute. I'm just gonna re-dip. And that's another thing, if you need to reload, don't go, because you're pumping loads of air in your mascara then, and then you'll only dry it out, which is not cute. So I pull almost at the root and push it up, like so. And really fan them out in the direction you want them, and you've got to really do this whilst they're still wet and a little malleable, because if you try and do it when they're dry, it'll either flake a little too much or be quite painful. It might make your eyes run if you are a sensitive eyed folk. Once you're happy with the shape, you can kind of just build upon it and really get in. Like, what's nice about this spoon applicator is you can really get in and get those edge lashes that you didn't even know existed, and it makes you look like you've got a million more lashes than you do. And to the bottom you can just sort of blink it on, use the edge and the small teeth. And this puts quite a nice controlled amount of mascara on. It's not like ugh. But how cute. And it's just so fun playing with a little bit of colour and twisting it up. Like, makeup's here to have fun, right? Let's get that blob off here. So get a dry Q-tip and you can just, it's so funny because I like, when I look at the camera, I'm looking at you and looking at the camera, I'm looking at myself in the monitor, which that is the lens, and then the monitor's just above, and it looks so different in kind of real life, as in the detail. It looks different in real life versus what's on the monitor. Sometimes it's quite easy to miss stuff. You're like, whoa. Or it looks really good and you're like, oh, I missed that. So basically what I'm saying, it's much harder to do this. So I was just correcting, I noticed that this, I mean it's still probably a little bit curlier, is I've just straightened the top of that a bit more, because this side's a little bit straighter, so I'm just doing that, like chopping it. And then now, can you see how it's deleted a little bit of the eyeshadow, so I'm going to go back into that brush. I have a smidge of that still on there. I can just sort of tease out the sparkle. Then I'll want to go to my painty brush and just go on top of it. Like so. Need to pop. Sometimes when you put eyeliner in your waterline, by the time you sort of finish your makeup, you need to top it up, and that's exactly what I need to do now, because you've blinked a little bit and it's moved. Magnus? No. No. Magnus? No. Oh my gosh. How do people stop cats from just ignoring you? Answers on a postcard, please. Magnus! No. Well, in the meantime, you can get a really nice close-up of my eye. Magnus. Stop it. Stop it. Oh my gosh. Cats. Dude, just no. No. Do I need to get rid of this curtain? I hope not, because I really like it. Okay. So let's go with a little bit of blush to kind of tie the look off, finish things up a little bit. Now it's time for some blush. So this is the Victoria Beckham blusher in the shade Major. If you are a long time fan, you'll know my favourite blush trick. So I'm keeping a lot of the products in similar tones to what I've used already, so it's nice and soft. So this is like a pinky soft blush. I don't want anything too heavy because I don't want it to fight the makeup. I'm not like going on RuPaul to slay. I'm like going on a slay look to cute, you know? A girly vibe. And then we're gonna go in with the little VB highlight. This is a really nice one. I've just got this and it's delightful because the texture, this, come on, it's just looks like wet skin. It's got a little bit of luminosity in there, but it's not like, it's very grown up. Very pretty, just going over those highlighted points. Doing the bridge. I'm never a fan of highlighting the tip of the nose. So just highlighting here. I'm not doing it too close to the eyes. I don't want to enhance things. Just keeping it on that quite strong. If you feel your brow bone, you can feel the like hardest points. And it's that real dense edge that you want to get it on. Cute. And then we're gonna go lips. So we are gonna do, it's a VB combo. I got some VB stuff recently and I'm like really excited about it. So moisturized lips, none of these dry crusty damn lips, okay? This is the Victoria Beckham lip liner in the shade 01. And I'm starting in the center, filling the colour out, and then, so whatever I do on this side, I like mirror on the other side. So this colour-wise kind of matches the tone on the eyes. That Magnus, no! Stop attacking my freaking vintage stuff. And now you've got your claw stuck again. He's so silly. I think they just want dinner early. So I start the cuticle side, then I do the other cuticle side. mirroring that motion, and then I'm going to take it down. So here, take it down. And where you can really fake plumping your lip a little bit is on the top. So once you've got your shape, you can kind of manipulate it. So just take it ever so slightly lower. Just take it ever so slightly lower there. Just plump up. Plump, plump, plump it up. And then I'm going to go in with the lipstick shade Twist. Again, peachy number. Let me know how you're finding this camera setup, if you're liking visually how that Magnus, know how this is looking, and if you're also enjoying this unedited real-time vibe still. Any questions I'll obviously answer in the comments below. And we're going to layer this up with a gloss. Let me know if you're a fan of gloss. So I have the Picante. Who doesn't love a Picante from Soho House? So good. Gonna give it a little extra juice in the middle. And what I love about a bit of a gloss is that it like really smooths the lip also. And now we're kind of finished. I'm just gonna delicately powder with my Trigwell. So you see a lot of conversations about this sponge making your skin poreless. Well, let me tell you a few things. I'm going to use the Beauty Pie Wonderless powder. Okay, is what this does when we apply it is it looks poreless in inverted commas on the camera because what it's doing is mattifying. And it's, oh my god, Magnus is walking all over stuff. And it's mattifying. So that is why things will look more filtered and poreless. But it's not freaking real. Because when you look in real life, you still got pores. You just got a shitload of powder on your face, okay? Okay? It's good to kind of really press your makeup in. And it is a really nice soft handy shape because of the triangle. You can like take it quite close in areas and really set. And it does give you a good premise for that. And you get some makeup artists, what they'll do is they'll apply a lot loose and they'll almost rub it in the product so it applies the finest layer, but all it does is it stops the light bouncing on camera in the lights. But in real life you can still see fine lines, you can still see pores, you can still see all these things, and that's okay. Okay, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Just wanted to get off my chest. Because sponges are good and I do use them. I don't use them all the time. But I just wanted to... I was intrigued about the hype on this one, so I was like, just put it in my basket. And it's been out of stock for so long. And it is really nice. It's a nice sponge. And there's also... They come in a duo pack. So there's 2 small ones and I've got 2 big ones. But I like these to work in. Like when I'm working on clients, I'm like... needing to like do a bit of makeup, literally what I've been doing throughout this video, but I don't always do it because it's just like more of an attention thing. Yeah, attention to detail thing. There we go, the finished look. What do you think? You and me go on a date? You up for it? This is the look. What do you think? Would you give this a go? Would you wear a bit of colour like this? I feel like this year we're going to see a lot more pink, a lot more colour in makeup. I think it's been this build up of having the pandemic the past few years, things like Euphoria and stuff like that, which I still haven't watched, by the way, and I feel like I really need to. TV programs like Sex Education in the UK that have had like a lot of colour, a lot of like abstract kind of funness to them. It's just cute and it's fun. And that's what makeup's all about. Like, you know, you could change that eyeliner to a brown one and it'd still be really beautiful, or a purple one or a blue one. So let me know what you think and if you will give this a go. All the products are listed below, by the way, and if you don't follow me on other channels, why the hell not? Like, if you want more of me, you can have more of me. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, so find me there. Also, again, all the details are listed below. This has been so much fun. Yeah, let me know if you've enjoyed this, because I certainly have. And I will see you next time. Ding! What do I do, ding? What do I do, ding? Yeah, and if you've got any requests for any other videos, pop them in the comments. Pop them in the comments. And what if you've not subscribed, like, hit that button now. I dare you. I dare you. Here's to a good one. See you next week.